Common application, I recommend you to watch AAU television.
AAU TV is the place to be for every person in higher education in Africa. Better be there or be nowhere.
Continuez de regarder la télé et surtout sur le AAU.
Keep watching it and it will change the way you interact with higher education on the continent. AAU, great job.
I want to tell you that AAU television is fantastic, it's educative, it's informative, and it is a must for anybody who is interested in higher education in Africa.
When I was in Accra last year, I did an interview on this TV. It's a very important mouthpiece.
It's a data, it's a bank of all we need for the development of higher education in Africa.
It's midday and you're welcome to the Aau TV Midweek News, coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. Let's take a quick look at our headlines today. In higher education, Africa Centers of Excellence program celebrates 10 years of advancing education. In discovery, Egyptian entrepreneur quits luxury car-inspired watercraft. In sports, Nigerian boxer Adebayo Olariwaju dies after collapsing in Ghana bout. And in international news, powerful earthquake strikes Myanmar, hundreds feared dead. Please stay tuned for more news on AAU TV. We'll be right back. My name is Philemon Edwards. Now the details of our first story. The Association of African Universities, AAU, held a press conference to highlight the 10-year impact of the Africa Higher Education Centers of Excellence, ACE program. The program, which has supported over 80 centers in 50 universities across 20 African countries, aims to improve the quality of higher education in Africa. The AAU, along with stakeholders from GTech and participating 3 universities, presented key achievements, including the training of thousands of postgraduate students, groundbreaking research, and strong industry partnerships. The AAU announced a commemorative event in April 2025 to further showcase the program's success and future plans. The Association of African Universities held a press conference to celebrate and discuss the remarkable achievements of the Africa Higher Education Centers of Excellence program, which has transformed higher education across the continent. Serving as the voice for higher education in Africa, press members were giving details in the 10-year journey of the ACE program. This initiative, supported by the World Bank and various stakeholders, has focused on strengthening postgraduate education, research, and innovation in critical fields such as STEM, agriculture, and health. Key speakers highlighted the program's impressive impacts. Over 27,000 regional students have been trained, and significant strides have been made in increasing female enrollment in graduate programs. The program has also facilitated groundbreaking research and fostered strong industry partnerships. The ACE program legacy is proof that with strategic investment, innovation, and partnerships, African institutions and indeed African universities can drive sustainable development and global competitiveness. Ghana's Tertiary Education Commission outlined its crucial role in advancing the nation's education development agenda through the ACE program. Center directors from participating universities shared impactful stories and research outcomes. Alumni and current students provided personal testimonials of the program's transformative effects. The AAU announced a commemorative event, the ACE at 10 celebration, scheduled for April 7 to 9, 2025 at Labadi Beach Hotel. This event will showcase the program's achievements and chart a course for future advancements in African higher education. The ACE program stands as a testament to the power of investment and collaboration in transforming Africa's higher education landscape. We will continue to follow the story and bring you updates on the upcoming celebration. In higher education, in a landmark move for African and European academic collaborations, the University of Cape Town, UCT, and Sciences Po in Paris have joined forces to launch a prestigious dual master's degree program. This initiative allows students to earn 2 internationally recognized degrees while fostering cross-continental academic exchange. The partnerships, backed by a grant from the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs, aims to develop future leaders in governance, public policy, and urban development. A groundbreaking academic partnership has been established between the University of Cape Town and Sciences Po, a leading public university in Paris. The 2 institutions have launched a dual master's degree program, marking a historic first for Sciences Po in Africa. This initiative will allow students to earn 2 degrees, one from each institution, over a 2-year period, with studies split between Cape Town and Paris. The agreement was formalized in Paris on March 21 and is supported by a €120,000 grant from the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The funding aligns with broader efforts to strengthen academic cooperations between France and South Africa. According to UCT Vice-Chancellor Professor Musa Moshebela, this partnership underscores the increasing prominence of African higher education on the global stage. He highlighted that the UCT remains committed to advancing academic excellence and fostering international exchange, ensuring that students are well equipped to lead in an interconnected world. The program will offer 2 specialized tracks, Governance and International Relations, in collaboration with the Paris School of International Affairs and UCT's Nelson Mandela School of Public Governance, and Urban Studies, developed jointly by Sciences Po's Urban School and UCT's Africa Center for Cities. Students will complete their first year at UCT before continuing at Sciences Po with the final semester back in Cape Town. The dual degree has been years in the making, with faculty and administrative teams from both institutions working extensively to navigate the complexities of designing the program. Professor Moshebela acknowledged the dedication of all involved, noting that multiple visits and discussions between the universities helped overcome the technical challenges of structuring the degree. With applications opening in September 2025 and the first cohort starting in 2027, the program aims to enroll 20 students annually from diverse backgrounds. 3 full scholarships will be provided through the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program. Sciences Po President Louis Vassé described the initiative as a significant step forward, enhancing collaboration between Africa and Europe through a high-caliber program in social sciences. As this partnership takes shape, it represents a major milestone in international education, bringing together 2 continents to shape the next generation of global leaders. And in health, Tigray, once a leader in Ethiopia's fight against HIV, is now grappling with a sharp rise in infections following the devastating 2-year war. The conflict, marked by widespread sexual violence and the destruction of health facilities, has left the region's healthcare system in ruins. With a lack of essential medication and resources, the HIV prevalence rate has more than doubled, 5 reaching alarming levels among displaced persons and survivors of sexual violence. Aid cuts are exacerbating the crisis, leaving thousands without life-saving treatment.
Tigray, once praised for its success in controlling HIV, is now facing a growing health catastrophe. Years of awareness campaigns had reduced the region's HIV prevalence rate to just 1.4%, one of the lowest in Ethiopia. But the war that erupted in 2020 changed everything. The conflict between Ethiopian government forces, backed by Eritrea and Tigray fighters, brought mass killings, hunger, and widespread sexual violence. A 2023 study published by BMJ Global Health estimated that as many as 10% of women and girls aged 15 to 49 in Tigray were subjected to sexual abuse, primarily rape and gang rape. This, coupled with the near-total collapse of the region's health system, has led to a surge in HIV infections. At Ida Referral Hospital in Mekelle, patients now queue in growing numbers for life-saving antiretroviral therapy. According to hospital officials, the average monthly positive rate has risen significantly. The head of the hospital's pharmacy, Tieme Arege, confirmed that the number of new HIV diagnoses continued to climb daily. Before the war, mother-to-child transmission of HIV had been virtually eliminated, but with medical service disrupted, rising infections in children under 2 are now being reported. The destruction of Tigray's healthcare infrastructure has been catastrophic. A joint report by the Tigray Regional Health Bureau, Ethiopia's Ministry of Health, and the World Health Organization found that only 17% of the region's health facilities remain functional. 90% of sexual violence survivors have not received timely medical care. Tigray's overall HIV prevalence rate has now surged to 3%, more than double its pre-war average. Among displaced persons, the rate is even higher at 5.5%, while for survivors of sexual violence, it has reached a staggering 8.6%. The situation is further worsened by global aid cuts. The Trump administration's decision to slash 83% of U.S. Agency for International Development (USAID) programs has forced Ethiopia to lay off 5,000 health workers who were on the front lines of the HIV fight. Charities supporting HIV patients have also been ordered to stop operations, including the Organization for Social Services, Health and Development, which provided testing, food aid and financial assistance to those in need. As health officials struggle with medication shortages and rising patient numbers, the people of Tigray face an uphill battle in regaining control over the HIV crisis. Urgent international support now needed more than ever.
In discovery, Egyptian entrepreneur quits luxury car-inspired watercraft. Stick with us for more on Discovery News after this break.
The most anticipated higher education event is here. Join us as we celebrate a decade of transformative impact on African higher education at the 10th anniversary of the Africa Higher Education Centers of Excellence program, a distinguished event jointly organized by the Association of African Universities, the Inter-University Council for East Africa, the World Bank, and the French Development Agency. ACE at 10 is scheduled for April 7 to 9, 2025 at the Labadi Beach Hotel in Accra, Ghana.
This high-level event will convene key academic and private sector stakeholders, including ministers of higher education, vice presidents and managers of the World Bank, development partners, vice chancellors, entrepreneurs, and innovators. During the celebration, you will
experience inspiring success stories, research breakthroughs, and innovative achievements from ACE centers.
Gain insight into how the ACE program has enhanced higher education, regional collaboration, and industry partnerships.
Join higher-level conversations on challenges, best practices, and future strategy.
Explore funding models, policy frameworks, and institutional reforms to sustain ACE achievement.
Network with influential leaders from government, academia, and the private sector to build transformative partnerships. The ACE community is encouraged to register now via the link on your screen.
Connect,
be inspired,
and let's make impact at the ACE at 10 celebration.
Welcome back from the commercial break. An Egyptian entrepreneur has turned a unique vision into reality by designing watercraft that resemble luxury cars, offering thrill seekers an exhilarating experience of driving on water. What began as a small-scale project in 2019 has grown into an international business with nearly 1,000 units sold across 70 countries. The customizable jet cars, priced at between $17,000 and $40,000, are available with eco-friendly electric motors. Looking ahead, the creator plans to develop a version that can operate both on water and roads.
A new kind of adventure is making wave luxury car-inspired watercraft that makes the sensation of driving on water. Egyptian entrepreneur Karim Anim, founder of Jet Car Chrome, has designed these sleek and powerful jet cars to offer adrenaline-pumping aquatic experience. What started in 2019 as a small workshop project with an initial investment of $50,000 has transformed into a thriving business. Today, nearly 1,000 jet cars have been sold to customers in over 70 countries. The floating vehicles, which range in price from $17,000 to $40,000, can be customized to meet individual preferences, including the option of an eco-friendly electric motor. Anim explains that his team has succeeded in crafting watercraft that closely resembles real luxury cars, a feature that has captivated buyers worldwide. He remains open to experimenting with new ideas and refining the design to enhance performance. Looking ahead, the next step is even more ambitious. Anim plans to introduce a version of the jet car that can transition seamlessly between water and roads. While most of the materials used in manufacturing are locally sourced, the engine and selected accessories are imported. With the growing demand for high-end customizable watercraft, the Jet Car Chrome is steering its way to becoming a global sensation in the luxury aquatic adventure.
In sports, Nigerian boxer Adebayo Success Olariwaju has died after collapsing in the ring during a bout in Ghana. The 40-year-old was rushed to Korle Bu Teaching Hospital but could not be revived. The fight was arranged at the last minute after an earlier cancellation, and he showed no signs of distress before suddenly collapsing in the third round. An autopsy is expected to determine the cause of death, as officials confirm he was medically cleared to fight. His passing has shocked the boxing world and raised fresh concerns about fighters' safety. The boxing world has been left in shock following the sudden death of Nigerian fighter Adebayo Olariwaju, known in the sports as Success. The 40-year-old collapsed in the ring during a professional bout in Ghana and was later pronounced dead at Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, despite desperate attempts to save his life. The ill-fated fight was initially scheduled for Friday as part of the Street to Champions event at Bukom Park, but was called off due to contractual disputes. However, in a last-minute decision, Olariwaju agreed to fight the following night, stepping into the ring under the banner of Imex Promotions. As the match progressed, both fighters traded blows cautiously, but in the third round, the fight took a tragic turn. Without absorbing a clear knockout punch, Olariwaju suddenly backed away, appearing dazed, before collapsing against the ropes. The referee initially counted it as a knockdown, but quickly realized the seriousness of the situation, summoning medical staff. Ringside physician Dr. Edward Asante recalled that he struggled to open Olariwaju's mouth and remove his gum shield before directing the ambulance team to rush him to the hospital. Despite immediate medical intervention, the Nigerian fighter could not be saved. An autopsy expected to determine the cause of death. Officials confirmed that Olariwaju had been medically cleared to compete, with certificate from the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. Ghanaian boxing matchmaker Yusuf Mubarak Nano expressed disbelief, stating that there had been no prior signs of illness. Meanwhile, Dr. Asante admitted that the circumstances surrounding the boxer's collapse remain unclear. With no visible knockout blow, he suggested that an undiagnosed medical condition could have played a role. As tributes pour in from both Ghana and Nigeria, the boxing community is left grappling with the dangers of the sport. Olariwaju's passing raises new concerns about fighter safety and medical screenings in professional boxing, as the sport mourns the loss of a dedicated and passionate athlete. And in entertainment, the Sidama people of Ethiopia have celebrated Fiche Kambalala, their traditional New Year festival, on March 28th. Recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity, the festival is a time of renewal, communal harmony, and reverence for nature. Rooted in ancient astronomical traditions, the event is determined by Sidama astrologers, known as Ayantu, who use lunar cycles to pinpoint exact dates. The celebration involves fasting, reconciliation, and a grand communal feast, reinforcing the values of peace and unity among the Sidama people.
In Ethiopia's Sidama regional state, a cherished tradition unfolds as community prepare to welcome Fiche Kambalala, the Sidama New Year. Marking a time of renewal and unity, the festival brings together generations in a celebration deeply rooted in ancestral wisdom. The festival's timing is determined by the Ayantu, Sidama's astrologers who carefully study lunar cycles and celestial alignments to announce the start of the new year. This year, their calculations have set a date for March 28th. Once confirmed, the announcement is made through a ceremonial ritual known as Faju, followed by a public proclamation called Lalawa, where community leaders call for peace and unity. As the festival approaches, a period of fasting and reconciliation takes place. Elders observe a 15-day fast, seeking spiritual purification, while families engage in Arara, a tradition of resolving conflicts to ensure no one enters the new year burdened by past grievances. These customs highlight the belief that true prosperity comes from harmony and collective responsibility. On the eve of Kambalala, families gather for Ficha, a communal feast centered around shafita, a traditional dish. The meal is shared by all, regardless of social status, as a symbol of equality and togetherness. Elders lead a feast, and chants of Fiche Fiche Ilyeshing fill the air, wishing for many more years of celebration. Notably, no livestock are slaughtered on Fiche itself. Instead, leftover meat is left outside as an offering of peace, reflecting the Sidama's people's deep respect for coexistence. As the festivities begin, the Sidama people embrace their rich cultural heritage, demonstrating that Fiche Kambalala is more than a New Year celebration. It is a reaffirmation of their values of unity, peace, and respect for nature.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
In business, Ghana's central bank has raised its main interest rate by 100 basis points to 28%, marking its first increase since July 2023. The move surprised many economists who had predicted rates would remain unchanged due to high inflation and forex challenges. The central bank's new governor, Johnson Isiama, said the decision was made to tackle persistent inflation, which, despite a slight decline, remains well above targets. The bank will reassess the impact of the rate hike in May, with future policy adjustment depending on the inflation trends.
In a move that caught many by surprise, Ghana's central bank has raised its key interest rate by 100 basis points to 28%. The decision, announced by newly appointed Governor Johnson Isiama, comes as the West African nations grapples with high inflation and economic recovery challenges. Speaking at the press conference, Isiama explained that while headline inflation has eased slightly, food and non-food inflation remains significantly above expectation, with core inflation still elevated. He emphasized that the majority of the bank's Monetary Policy Committee members supported the decision to tighten rates. Customer inflation in Ghana dropped to 23.1% in February from 23.5% in January, but remains far above the central bank's target of 8% from the margin of error of 2 percentage points. Esiama stated that as inflation stabilizes, the committee will assess whether gradual policy easing is possible. Economic analysts, including Leslie Dwight-Mensah from the Institute for Fiscal Studies, described the move as a clear signal for a more aggressive stance against inflation. He noted that while financial markets may find reassurance in the decision, business and households facing higher borrowing costs will likely be disappointed. Ghana is still recovering from one of its worst economic crises in decades, with significant difficulties in key sectors such as cocoa and gold production. Finance Minister Kisel Atuforsen, in his recent budget speech, projected that strict spending cuts will help bring inflation down from 11.9% by the end of the year. The central bank will reassess the impact of this policy shifts in May as it continues efforts to stabilize the country's economy.
And in international news, a devastating 7.7 magnitude earthquake has struck Myanmar, causing widespread destruction and sending tremors across Thailand and China. The powerful quake, which hit near the city of Mandalay, was followed by a strong aftershock. Hundreds are feared dead or injured, with historic buildings and infrastructure severely damaged. In Bangkok, Thailand, the tremors caused a high-rise building under construction to collapse. Myanmar's military government has declared a state of emergency in 6 regions and is appealing for international aid as search and rescue efforts continue.
A massive earthquake has shaken Myanmar, leaving a trail of destruction and fear. The 7.7 magnitude quake struck early Friday afternoon, with its epicenter just 18 kilometers from Mandalay, Myanmar's second-largest city. A powerful aftershock measuring 6.4 followed minutes later, according to the United States Geological Survey. The impact has been devastating. In Mandalay, a city rich in history and home to Myanmar's Buddhist heartland, several ancient buildings have been crumbled, while modern infrastructure has suffered severe damage. Witnesses describe scenes of chaos, with buildings shaking violently, walls collapsing, and roads splitting apart. The tremors were felt far beyond Myanmar's borders. In Thailand, the quake caused a high-rise building under construction in Bangkok, 900 kilometers away, to collapse, while in China, damage has also been reported. As night falls, rescue teams in Myanmar and neighboring countries are racing against time to find survivors trapped beneath the rubble. The densely populated Greater Bangkok area, home to over 17 million people, remain on high alert. Myanmar's military-run government has declared a state of emergency in 6 regions and has taken the rare step of appealing for international aid. Experts warn that the full extent of the disaster may not be known for weeks, but early estimates suggest thousands of lives could be lost and economic damage could be severe. For now, the priority remains saving as many lives as possible as the world watches and hopes for miracles amid the devastation.
Thank you for staying with us on this week's edition of the Midweek News on AAU TV. Now let's take a look at some of our headlines. In higher education, Africa Centers of Excellence program celebrates 10 years of advancing education. In discovery, Egyptian entrepreneur creates luxury car-inspired watercraft. In sports, Nigerian boxer Adebayo Olariwaju dies after collapsing in Ghana bouts. And in international news, powerful earthquake strikes Myanmar, hundreds feared dead. Thanks for sticking with us on this week's edition of the Midweek News, coming to you from the AAU TV. Get interactive with us on all our dedicated news hub via tv@aau.org. My name is Philemon Edwards.